First of all, Blueface, keep me out y'all bullshit. Keep my name out your mouth, cause I don't play with kids.
NLE Choppa speaks on Junior, and within minutes social media starts moving like somebody pressed the chaos button. Screenshots flying, pages reposting, comment sections lighting up like they're competing for loudest opinion of the year. What might have been a passing remark instantly turned into a viral storm. Because when a child's name enters the conversation, the internet doesn't whisper, it roars, and then Chrisean fires off. Not a vague response, not a soft clarification. Energy, protective, direct, unfiltered, the kind of reaction that makes you stop scrolling and lean closer to your screen. Whether you agreed with her or not, one thing was obvious: she wasn't letting the narrative breathe comfortably, and just when you thought that was enough drama for one headline, Blueface steps in too. Now it's not just a comment, it's a triangle. Choppa's words, Chrisean's response, Blueface's take. 3 angles, 3 energies, 1 exploding timeline. This makes reality TV look like a polite dinner party. Was Choppa misunderstood? Did Chrisean feel boundaries were crossed? Is Blueface calming things down or adding extra gasoline? In the age of viral clips, perception spreads faster than context. And once the internet locks onto a story, it doesn't let go easily. So buckle up, because this isn't just about a comment. The moment that clip started circulating, it didn't matter how long it was or what came before it. Social media doesn't operate on full context, it operates on impact. NLE Choppa's remarks about Junior were clipped, reposted, and passed around faster than breaking news. Some people insisted the tone was harmless. Others felt uncomfortable immediately. The internet doesn't wait for clarification. It reacts, and reaction becomes reality within minutes. What made the situation heavier wasn't just who said it. It was what was being discussed. When public figures talk about each other, it's expected. When a child's name enters the conversation, the emotional stakes multiply instantly. Viewers stop treating it like entertainment and start treating it like boundaries. And boundaries online are a sensitive subject. One side sees conversation, the other sees overstepping. As the clip gained traction, commentary channels began doing what they do best: dissecting tone. Was Choppa joking? Was he being serious? Was it advice? Was it commentary? The interpretations varied wildly. Some supporters claimed people were overreacting. Critics argued that intent doesn't cancel impact. And once that debate starts, it rarely cools down quickly. Then Chrisean responded, not with silence, not with subtlety, with visible emotion. Protective energy filled the airwaves. Whether you agree with how she handled it or not, you could feel the intensity. Parents don't tend to treat conversations about their children casually, especially when those conversations are trending publicly. The response wasn't just about disagreement. It felt personal. Her supporters rallied immediately. They framed her reaction as natural, protective, necessary. They argued that anyone in her position would do the same. They emphasized that when someone speaks publicly about your child, especially in a viral moment, staying quiet can feel like acceptance. And acceptance wasn't the vibe. Meanwhile, Choppa's supporters pushed back. They argued that his comments were being amplified beyond their original tone. They suggested social media clipped and stretched the narrative into something bigger than intended. In their eyes, the backlash felt disproportionate. And that's how the timeline split. Not into right and wrong, into interpretation versus interpretation. Before the situation could cool down, Blueface entered the conversation, and when Blueface comments, engagement spikes automatically. His presence alone adds another layer of complexity. Some saw his response as alignment. Others saw it as escalation. Was he defending? Was he adding perspective? Or was he simply stepping into a conversation that was already on fire? Depending on who you ask, the answer changes. Now the narrative had 3 angles moving at once. Choppa's original remarks, Chrisean's fiery rebuttal, Blueface's reaction layered on top. Each added a new dimension. Each brought its own audience. And when those audiences collide, comment sections turn into battlegrounds. The speed of escalation revealed something important about modern celebrity culture. A single viral moment can reshape public perception in real time. No press conference, no official statement, just a clip and a response. That's all it takes. The algorithm does the rest. Memes begin appearing almost immediately, screenshots with dramatic captions, reaction edits with suspense music, humor mixed with outrage, and that mixture spreads quickly. Some viewers laughed at the chaos. Others felt the conversation shouldn't have happened publicly at all. Entertainment collided with seriousness in a way that made everything louder. The phrase boundaries started trending alongside names. Commentators debated what is acceptable in public dialogue. Is everything fair game when you're a public figure? Or should certain lines remain untouched? That question fueled hours of debate. No official rulebook exists, but the internet tries to write one every week. Chrisean's tone stayed firm. She didn't appear interested in letting the clip define the narrative without response. Whether people saw strength or intensity, the message was clear. She wasn't ignoring it. Silence would have allowed speculation to expand uncontested. Speaking up reclaimed the spotlight, even if it amplified the drama. Blueface's involvement complicated the optics further. Some viewers praised his engagement. Others questioned whether adding more commentary increased tension unnecessarily. In celebrity dynamics, every added voice multiplies interpretation. What might have been a two-sided debate became a triangle of energy. As hours passed, think pieces emerged. Influencers offered breakdowns. Panels discussed respect in digital culture. The situation grew beyond the original clip. It became symbolic of something larger: how fast online discourse escalates, especially when personal topics enter public space. The deeper layer wasn't about proving anyone wrong. It was about perception. Choppa may have intended one thing. Viewers interpreted another. Chrisean responded from emotion. Blueface layered his own angle. And the audience, as always, turned it into a live discussion forum. By the end of the first wave, one truth stood out. In today's digital world, a few words can trigger a full narrative storm. The line between commentary and controversy is razor thin. Once crossed, even accidentally, it's nearly impossible to step back quietly, and that's where the tension settled, not resolved, not erased, just hovering. Because when viral moments involve personal territory, they rarely disappear overnight. They linger, they echo, and everyone waits to see what the next post will bring. If the first wave was shock, the second wave was escalation. Because once the clip and responses started circulating, the internet didn't just react, it amplified. Reaction channels uploaded back-to-back breakdowns. TikTok stitched the original comment with Chrisean's response like it was a dramatic before and after reveal. Twitter threads grew longer than dissertations. And suddenly, what began as a single remark turned into a full-blown cultural debate. Influencers jumped in with strong takes. Some framed it as a misunderstanding blown out of proportion. Others treated it like a clear example of crossed lines in public conversation. Nobody wanted to stay neutral because neutrality doesn't trend. Taking a side does. And the more sides formed, the more intense the engagement became. Memes entered the chat next. Dramatic screenshots with bold captions. Edited clips slowed down for maximum suspense. Sarcastic commentary layered over original footage. Humor collided with seriousness, creating that strange mix the internet loves: part outrage, part entertainment. And once something becomes meme-worthy, it gains a second life. Meanwhile, fans begin dissecting not just the words, but the timing. Why now? Why in that setting? Why phrase it that way? Theories popped up like mushrooms after rain. Some believed it was harmless commentary that snowballed. Others suggested it was tone-deaf in a sensitive space. Social media thrives on speculation, and this moment delivered endless angles. Chrisean's reaction continued to dominate the conversation. Supporters praised her for standing firm and speaking up immediately. They argued that in the public eye, silence can be misinterpreted. Addressing it head-on showed control. Critics, however, claimed the intensity of her response added more heat than necessary. Two interpretations. Same moment, Blueface's involvement added even more layers. His name alone guarantees clicks, and when he steps into an already active debate, the algorithm practically throws a party. Some viewers saw his response as backing up Chrisean's stance. Others felt his tone made the situation feel heavier. Regardless of interpretation, his participation ensured the story wasn't fading anytime soon. What's fascinating is how quickly the narrative shifted from the original remark to a bigger conversation about online boundaries. Comment sections filled with debates about respect in public discourse. Should public figures avoid mentioning each other's children altogether? Is commentary fair if it's not malicious? Does intent matter more than impact? These weren't just quick reactions. They turned into full discussions. Celebrity blogs began running headlines that hinted at tension without making direct claims. Phrases like "internet reacts" and "fans divided" dominated feeds. That wording kept the drama alive without officially escalating it. It's the modern formula. Let the audience argue while the platforms collect engagement. At the same time, supporters of Choppa insisted context was missing. They pointed out that viral clips often remove nuance. A few seconds can erase tone, background, and intention. They argued that the reaction cycle moved faster than understanding. And in the digital age, speed almost always beats nuance. But nuance doesn't trend. Emotion does. That's why Chrisean's visible reaction carried so much weight. It felt real, immediate, protective. Whether people agreed or disagreed, they couldn't ignore it. Emotion translates across screens better than logic ever will. And once emotion enters the storyline, detachment disappears. The situation also exposed the fragility of public image. One moment can redirect attention dramatically. Instead of upcoming projects or performances, the focus shifts to a viral clip. Instead of artistic output, the conversation revolves around reactions. That's the cost of living in the spotlight. Every word carries risk. As hours turned into days, the story didn't explode further, but it didn't vanish either. It simmered. Every repost reignited discussion. Every reaction video extended its lifespan. And the internet continued doing what it does best, replaying the moment from every angle possible. What stands out most in this stage is how layered the situation became. It wasn't just Choppa versus Chrisean. It wasn't just Blueface adding commentary. It was a three-way ripple effect fueled by perception, timing, and emotional stakes. And once the ripple begins, it travels farther than anyone expects. Even casual observers found themselves drawn into the debate. Because when conversations involve family and public respect, they resonate differently. It feels more personal than typical celebrity back and forth. That emotional layer kept the audience engaged longer than usual. At this point, the original clip almost became secondary. The reaction to the reaction became the real story. That's the evolution of modern drama. The aftermath sometimes overshadows the initial spark. And the more people weigh in, the more the storyline morphs into something bigger than the original words. Now the tension sits in a strange place. Not erupting, but not resolved. Choppa's supporters want clarity. Chrisean's supporters want respect acknowledged. Blueface's involvement keeps the energy unpredictable. And the internet waits, watching closely for any follow-up that might push the story into its next phase. Because in today's digital arena, nothing truly ends with one post. It pauses, it lingers, and sometimes it returns louder than before. As the noise slowly began to settle, the real impact started to show. Not in dramatic headlines, not in explosive live streams, but in perception. Because once a viral moment attaches itself to your name, it doesn't just disappear. It lingers in search results, in comment sections, in future interviews. The clip may fade from trending, but the ripple effect sticks around. For Chrisean, the situation reinforced a very specific image: protective, reactive, unfiltered. To her supporters, that's authenticity. It's strength. It's a parent refusing to let public commentary slide. To critics, it's volatility. The same reaction can be interpreted to completely different ways depending on who's watching. That's the complicated math of public opinion. For NLE Choppa, the moment became a lesson in how quickly words travel once clipped and reposted. Even if his intent wasn't inflammatory, the reaction cycle proved something powerful. Context. Move slowly. Screenshots move instantly. In the digital era, a few seconds of dialogue can create hours of debate. And once debate starts, it doesn't ask for original intent before forming conclusions. Blueface's involvement ensured the situation had longevity. His presence in any online exchange automatically extends its lifespan. Some viewers felt his response strengthened Chrisean's position. Others argued it intensified the optics. But regardless of interpretation, his participation kept the narrative from fading quietly. When he enters a conversation, silence usually exits. The broader takeaway isn't just about one viral exchange. It's about how fragile boundaries feel. In a public environment, conversations that might be casual in private settings take on entirely different weight when broadcast to millions. Tone becomes magnified. Timing becomes scrutinized, intent becomes secondary to interpretation, and the internet decides what the moment means. As the dust continued settling, the conversation evolved into something more reflective. Commentators began discussing respect culture online. Where is the line? When does commentary become controversy? Is everything fair game once you're in the public eye? These questions didn't come with clean answers. They simply kept the dialogue alive. What makes situations like this fascinating is how quickly alliances form. Audiences don't just watch anymore. They pick sides. They defend positions. They debate under posts like it's a courtroom hearing. And in that courtroom, emotion often outweighs nuance. The louder reaction tends to win attention. The aftermath also highlighted the pace of modern drama. A single clip can dominate the timeline for hours, even days. But eventually, the algorithm shifts focus. New stories rise. Fresh headlines appear. And yet, the original moment remains archived, ready to resurface whenever related names trend. Again, digital memory is permanent, even when attention is temporary. For Chrisean, the event may reinforce her image as someone who responds immediately and emotionally when she feels lines are crossed. That authenticity appeals to many. It can also polarize others. Public life doesn't allow for neutral branding. Every reaction builds the persona further. For Choppa, the situation may serve as a reminder that viral culture doesn't differentiate between casual commentary and high-stakes dialogue. Once clipped, it's no longer yours. It belongs to the timeline. And the timeline rarely offers grace periods. Blueface remains the wildcard element in this equation. His responses, regardless of intent, always create additional layers. Supporters see alignment, critics see escalation, but either way, his involvement guarantees continued engagement. And engagement is the lifeblood of digital drama. What lingers most is the idea that in today's culture, reaction often overshadows origin. The response to the comment became bigger than the comment itself. That's the nature of amplification. The internet doesn't just echo moments. It enlarges them. Now the tension sits quietly but noticeably, not explosive, but unresolved in the sense that public perception has shifted slightly for everyone involved. Nothing catastrophic. Nothing officially confirmed as wrongdoing. Just a viral exchange that reshaped conversation temporarily, and that's the true power of online ripple effects. They don't always destroy reputations. Sometimes they simply adjust them. They remind audiences how quickly tone can turn, how fast reactions travel, and how fragile public narratives really are. The story may no longer be dominating headlines, but it's not erased either. It lives in clips, in debates, in memory. And the next time any of these names trend, this chapter will likely resurface as context. That's how digital history works, because in the age of instant amplification, every word is a potential spark, every reaction is a potential wildfire. And once the flames settle, the smoke still lingers subtle, but impossible to ignore. Was this whole situation blown out of proportion by the algorithm? Or were real boundaries crossed that deserved a strong response? Did Chrisean handle it exactly how a protective parent should, or did emotions take the spotlight? And where does Blueface's response land for you, supportive or stirring the pot? Drop your honest take in the comments. Don't scroll silently. This is where the real debate happens. If your team context, say it. If your team respect, stand on it. If you think the internet just turned a spark into a bonfire, explain why. We're reading everything. If this breakdown kept you locked in, smash that like button like it owes you rent. Subscribe like you're securing front row seats to the next viral eruption. And turn on notifications because the timeline does not send warning texts before it explodes. One post can flip everything overnight, and we're here for every twist. Here at Fame Ripple, we don't just repeat headlines. We analyze reactions, decode the psychology, and track how one comment can shake an entire narrative. We follow the waves long after the splash. Because in this culture, drama doesn't disappear, it evolves. Remember, it only takes one sentence to start a